You say you want to be free. Free from anxiety, free from fear, free from other people's expectations. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Freedom is not what you think it is. Most people spend their entire lives chasing freedom, but what they're really chasing is escape. Escape from work, escape from responsibility, escape from pain. And that's why they never find it. Because real freedom, the kind that can't be taken away, doesn't come from running. It comes from standing still. It comes from discipline. Act 1. The illusion of freedom. We live in a world that sells us the illusion of freedom. Do whatever makes you happy. Follow your passion. Be yourself. It sounds beautiful, but what it often creates is chaos. A life with no direction, no structure, and no depth. You stay up late scrolling through endless videos because no one is forcing you to sleep. You eat whatever you want because no one is watching. You skip the gym because, well, you can. And yet, you feel trapped. You feel weak. You feel like you're losing control over your own life. That's not freedom. That's slavery to your impulses, your desires, and your fears. Nietzsche once said, "He who cannot obey himself will be commanded." And he was right. If you can't master your own behavior, something else will master it for you. Society, your emotions, or your addictions. Act 2. The paradox of discipline. Discipline sounds like the opposite of freedom. It's routine, it's structure, it's limitation. But here's the paradox. Discipline is what creates the space for true freedom to exist. Think of a musician. Without discipline, they're just banging on keys, making noise. But because they've disciplined their hands, their timing, their ear, now they can express something infinite. The same is true for life. When you discipline your mind, you create the conditions for peace. When you discipline your time, you gain the freedom to do what truly matters. When you discipline your emotions, you free yourself from being a puppet to circumstance. Freedom without discipline is chaos. Discipline without freedom is slavery. The balance between the two? That's mastery. Act 3. The chains we forge. The chains that hold most people aren't made of iron. They're made of comfort. You wake up and reach for your phone before your feet even touch the floor. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. The gym, the journal, the dream. You wait for motivation, for clarity, for the right moment. But that moment never comes because comfort is a liar. It whispers that rest is peace, but real peace only comes after struggle. It tells you that freedom is doing what you want, but real freedom is doing what you must, even when you don't want to. The ancient Stoics understood this deeply. Epictetus, once a slave, taught that the only true freedom is the freedom of the mind. He was beaten, controlled, humiliated, yet he was freer than most people living in luxury today. Why? Because he had mastered himself. You can have every external freedom, money, time, power, and still live like a prisoner. And you can have nothing, yet walk like a king if your mind obeys your command. Act 4. The psychology of self-mastery. Psychologists today echo what the Stoics, Buddhists, and warriors of old already knew. Self-control is not repression, it's integration. You don't defeat your impulses by fighting them, you train them. You don't silence your emotions, you understand them. You don't punish your desires, you discipline them so they serve you, not enslave you.
Carl Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming whole. It means confronting your shadow, your weakness, your laziness, and integrating them into strength. Discipline isn't about denying your humanity. It's about channeling it. It's about taking all that chaos inside you and turning it into creation. The disciplined mind doesn't kill desire, it refines it. It transforms restlessness into focus, anger into drive, pain into purpose. Act V. Historical reflection. The warriors of the mind. Look at the great figures of history: Marcus Aurelius, Miyamoto Musashi, Bonhoeffer, Gandhi. Different cultures, different times, but all shared one truth. Freedom comes through self-restraint. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but practiced simplicity. He wrote in his journals, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Musashi, the undefeated samurai, spent his later years living as a hermit, perfecting his discipline in solitude. He knew that mastery of the sword meant nothing without mastery of the self. And Bonhoeffer, imprisoned by the Nazis, wrote about inner freedom as something no tyrant could take away. Even when surrounded by walls, his spirit remained unbroken. These were not men of comfort, they were men of discipline, and through that discipline, they found peace. Act 6. The hidden cost of ease. Ease is seductive. It tells you that you deserve to relax, to take it easy, to not push too hard. But what it doesn't tell you is that every time you choose ease over effort, you trade a little piece of your strength. You don't notice it at first, but over time, you start to feel it. The dull ache of wasted potential, the quiet guilt that follows distraction, and the emptiness that comes from never really trying. That's the real cost of an undisciplined life, not failure, but the slow erosion of your soul. Plato warned us about this. In the Republic, he said that most people live as prisoners, chained by their appetites, mistaking shadows for reality. And the moment you try to escape the cave, to live with intention and discipline, the world mocks you. But if you persist, if you walk towards the light, you discover something profound. The struggle itself is the path to freedom.